Hey, welcome. Today, we're diving into a tool that's all about supercharging the classroom. So if you're an educator and you've ever felt like your lessons could use just a little more spark, you are in the exact right place. We're about to break down how to make that happen.
It's a question I think every teacher asks themselves. You pour all this time into building the perfect lesson plan, but when you actually deliver it, does it light that fire? Does it really spark curiosity? Or sometimes, does it just feel a little static? It's a huge challenge. How do you make great content truly stick in a world that is just full of distractions?
And that brings us to this phrase, which I think just nails it. Turn boring to brilliant. It's simple, but it's a really powerful promise, isn't it? This isn't just about adding a little bit of flair. It's about fundamentally rethinking the whole learning experience. And that's the big idea we're going to unpack today.
So, how do we make that jump from boring to brilliant? Well, the answer we're looking at today is a tool called StudioK20. It's been built from the ground up to tackle that exact engagement challenge we see in the modern classroom. So, what is StudioK20 really? At its heart, it's a super easy-to-use tool that lets educators build interactive lessons and build them fast. And I really want to emphasize easy and quick here because, let's be real, time is the one resource teachers never have enough of. This whole thing is designed to get you maximum impact without maxing out your workload. Okay, so we know what it is, but now for the fun part, the how. How does it actually solve that engagement problem? Let's pop open the hood on this creative toolkit and see what's really going on inside.
And this is where it gets really powerful. We're not talking about just a few options here. We're talking over 40 different types of interactive activities. Just think about that. You could turn a dry history timeline into a dynamic drag-and-drop game, or maybe transform a biology lesson into a set of interactive, gamified flashcards. It's all about having the freedom to build the perfect lesson for any subject and for any learning style.
But look, it's more than just a giant library of cool activities. It's the whole ecosystem. It's designed to be efficient from the second you start building to the moment you share it with your students. Let's walk through what that actually looks like. Let's talk about that efficiency, because this is huge. We all know building a lesson can take forever. But here, the whole process is boiled down to 3 simple steps. You pick the activity you want from that library of 40 plus, you literally drag it into your lessons playlist, and you share it. That's it. It's built to get you from an idea to a finished lesson in minutes, not hours.
Of course, making a great lesson is only half the battle, right? You've got to actually get it to your students without a bunch of technical headaches. StudioK20 is made to just get rid of that friction. You can share a direct link, or, and this is so important, you can publish it right into the learning management systems you're probably already using, like Canvas, Moodle, and Google Classroom.
This quote really gets to the philosophy behind the platform, and it's powered by a feature called adaptive course design. So what does that mean? It means if a student is totally getting it, the lesson can automatically give them a tougher challenge. And if they're struggling a bit, it can offer more help. So it's not one size fits all. It's about creating a personalized path for every single learner.
Now, you might be thinking, okay, this sounds cool, but there are other tools out there. And you're right. So what makes StudioK20 different? Let's do a quick head-to-head comparison and see what sets it apart.
Okay, let's put it up against a common competitor, h5p.com. StudioK20 is really aiming to deliver all that same power, but with 3 really key advantages. First, a more intuitive interface, which just saves you time and frustration. Second, a lower cost, which is always a bonus for school budgets. And third, and this is a big one for some, it's a US-based company.
So why does being US-based even matter? Well, for a lot of school districts, there are real challenges and rules about working with foreign companies. It can get complicated with things like data privacy, support, and just the contracting process. So the fact that StudioK20 is a US product managed and hosted right here in the US solves that whole headache for them. So after digging into all the features and comparisons, let's kind of zoom back out. Let's bring it back to where we started, the big vision. What does all of this really mean for your classroom? And more importantly, for your students? This is the end game, right? It's not just about checking boxes and getting through the curriculum. It's about using these kinds of tools to turn education from this passive thing into an active, inspiring journey. It's about sparking that curiosity, building a real love for learning, and creating experiences that your students will actually remember. So I'll leave you with this final thought. Just for a second, forget about all the technical hurdles and the time constraints. What could you, as a passionate educator, create for your students if your creative tools felt truly limitless?
If you're ready to start answering that question for yourself, you can schedule a demo today and see how you can supercharge learning for tomorrow. Thanks so much for tuning in.